Episode 4 of Dutton Ranch begins with devastation plaguing the ranch. The foot and mouth disease has been spreading, and Rip is more convinced than ever that it's the new bull they bought at the auction that's caused this. Now Beth doesn't want Carter to see the devastation, but he's too busy with Oriana to care very much. Beth heads home and finds the pair in bed together, and soon learns that she's a Jackson too. Beth drives to Gail home, and en route Beth makes her displeasure known. She also threatens to raise hell against Oriana if she messes with Carter. Of course, Beulah has already given Oriana more than enough warnings, and it's largely fallen on deaf ears for her. When Beth pulls up at the driveway, Beulah approaches and wants to bury the hatchet over a drink. Beth is having none of it, and even Beulah's thinly veiled threat about Rio Paloma being a small town isn't enough to dissuade her, as Beth eventually drives away. Beth has bigger fish to fry anyway, as she gets to work investigating this bull. She rings Dr. Paul, the man responsible for the pre-sale examination and blood work. Unfortunately, he's never heard of the sale, which only backs up Rip's suspicions of foul play. Now back inside, Oriana is kept on a tight leash by Beulah, while Carter heads out to try and find some work. He's guided toward a rancher called Danny Ray, who quickly brings him into his operation and teaches him methods in the self-proclaimed School of Life. A part of this includes drinking and practicing lassoing. However, he also has an African leopard called Xena in his possession. When Beth rings shortly after, she encourages Carter to take Oriana out for dinner with no curfew. All of this, of course, is a play to get rid of Carter while they work on the cattle. Meanwhile, Everett is called out to the Jackson Ranch when he receives word that they have a pregnant mare about to foal. Doc Sturgis is on vacation, and that leaves Everett as the only reliable guy to fall back on. When he shows up, he finds there's no pregnant mare, and it's just Beulah's way of bringing him over to share a drink. They talk about the past and the dreams of retiring away from it all, before the conversation is steered steeply back into tenuous waters. Although Chet is a decent enough cowboy, Everett knows he's completely out of his depth here. This line of inquiry inevitably leads him over to the situation regarding Rob Will and his rehab. The pair continue to reminisce on times lost, before the pair hold hands and eventually part ways. Now, a taxi actually pulls up to the ranch later that evening, and it appears to be Rob Will, who returns just as Oriana is about to sneak out. The Dutton Ranch takes drastic measures and lead all the cattle out, away from their home. While they drink by the waterhole, Zachariah and Azul dig a big hole. They're led down by the ranchers, who eventually open fire on the bull. "You don't deserve this," Rip concedes, as he pulls the trigger for the final time, killing all of them. Beth then reveals the final hammer blow, revealing that all the vet paperwork they had was forged. The cattle broker completely screwed them over. The Rip is pissed and confronts the guy, forcing him out of Rio Paloma that night. The pair burn his trailer too as they drive off. Now, although they do get a measure of revenge here, it doesn't really change the fact that their ranch is facing a very real and difficult problem now. With no cattle to speak of, Rip calls Everett and breaks the bad news to him. He then sits out looking at the stars, wondering just what their fate may be. So devastation hits the Dutton Ranch this week as Beth and Rip find themselves faced with an impossible choice. With the cattle all but ruined, the future of the ranch is now hanging in the balance. The episode largely pits this as a central drama, although we do get pockets of characterization around that as well. We see more of Carter's escapades with this Danny Ray character, although it's unclear whether he'll be an ongoing player or just a figurehead to show Carter there are other ways of life out here. We do see the ripples of dissent start to rub off on him by the end of the episode too, which is very clearly Oriana's influence, isn't it? He's also obviously in the dark about the ranch's fortunes, which don't look good right now. I mean, how are they going to move forward from here? Rip knows this is a tough situation to be in, and his expression at the end of the episode tells the full story here. He knows they're looking down the barrel of the gun right now. How will they get out of this in one piece? Thanks for watching, and do let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Smash a like or subscribe to the channel, your support is very much appreciated. I'm Greg Wheeler, and from all of us over here at The Review Geek, we'll see you on the next video.